Welcome to the RSP Boiler Room. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. We're going to take a look at Ohio State slot receiver Jaxon Smith-Njigba, number 11 here. There's a couple of plays I want to show you against Penn State that I think offer a lot of information about his game that I've seen over the course of my film study thus far with him. And I think they're indicative of some things that he does well, some things that maybe he can work on a little bit better. Let's take a look at this right here. You're going to see him come off the line against the defender sliding across, uses the arm over, gets to depth, works between two defenders, and then comes back to the ball, makes a catch on a low throw. So let's break all this down together at once. We're going to show it one more time all the way through. And you just see he works to depth with good speed, and he recognizes his quarterback's in trouble and comes back to the ball and makes a good catch. So breaking it down earlier, you got the defender with inside shade here. You should have a plan as a receiver that when you have a defender playing this close that you're going to deal with some form of contact. And you need to have something ready here when you know based on the shade of the defender and what angle he's coming from. And you see he does a good job, Smith-Njigba does a good job of releasing from the line. There's really no wasted motion here. He comes down low, gets his pads over his knees early, rolls off that front foot. No real wasted motion with that back foot. Doesn't tip anything off to any defender. It's a smooth release. The arms are pumping. Really good job with the arms pumping there. You want to always do that from the beginning so that you can sell the vertical concept, because these safeties playing deep want to get a read. He's already dropping back, the safety right here. And he may be looking at this outside receiver too, but the point is if the defender back here, even if he's giving a false tell here that he's just looking at this receiver and decides to come back, the fact that he's already turning his hips to run, you know, that could be partially due to Smith-Njigba. Even if it isn't on this play, the fact that he's selling that vertical is important. Then you see here he uses the swat with the inside arm and then the arm over or swim against the defender here to get past him. So a swat and swim technique is what he uses here. He starts off, you know, with a straight route, sells the vertical, uses the swat and swim. Nice commitment there, gets through it quickly. Now he's going to work to depth. He re-accelerates. Arms are pumping. You can see that pretty well. Look at those arms going way back like that. Long strides, pads over the shoulders. That's driving the safety backwards more. That's good. And he's then looking over at this defender at the right hash to see the gauge of the depth that he's going to break. And is he going to break behind him? That's what he needs to do. So he gauges that. And then he makes the turn. Now, at first, I thought maybe he looked back to the quarterback a little bit, but he doesn't do that. He's just turning first just to get a look at the defensive back at this hash to gauge where his break's going to be. If you show your eyes too early, that can tip off the quarterback. If the quarterback's not seeing this defender, he might, if he's looking solely at the receiver, it may give a cue or a false cue for the quarterback to throw the ball. He doesn't do that here. He's looking at the defensive back, and then he sees that the defensive back's in that position. He looks back to the quarterback here because he wants to see what the quarterback's going to do, and the quarterback spots the defender. Quarterback breaks the pocket, and as soon as the quarterback breaks the pocket, look at Smith-Njigba. He does a good job of working back up the field towards the quarterback to create an open space away from that defender number 40, and then makes the catch, sliding catch on a low throw. We're going to watch it from the end zone view, and you get a better view of what he does from a nonverbal communication aspect with C.J. Stroud at this point, because you're going to see him coming from the left of the screen. You're going to see him work across, and you can see he does look back to the quarterback a little bit here. This is something that I've noticed with his game, that he may look back a little too early when he has underneath defenders here. So that does kind of confirm it for me that he needs to work on this. He doesn't want to falsely tip off his quarterback that he's open in case the quarterback's avoiding the rush or looking somewhere else and comes back quickly to knowing where his receiver's going to be and doesn't really get a good view of a dropping defender like this linebacker number 45 here. It's because watch 45 drop back. Imagine if C.J. Stroud is looking over at 13 long enough here to look deep to, say, the outside and sees that the safety's got it, and then he comes back to try and deliver this throw quickly and didn't notice the linebacker. Based on what the receiver does looking back here, he might have decided to let this ball go. Now, the look back to the quarterback isn't so early that it tips it off, but it's something to just keep an eye on for future reference, because if we start to see some problems here, that's going to be something to remember. But then you can see he looks here and starts to get back to depth that can get past this linebacker, and then watch him show his hands, get under the ball. See how he gets his hands under the ball and a little bit away from the ball, enough to be able to catch it with his fingertips first, bring it to his body, and then not land fully on the ball. So he gets under it, is able to land so that he doesn't disrupt his catch, because he kind of lands on his side and then turns over onto the ball after he's already on the ground. So most of his momentum hits the ground with his body before the ball does. Very good job of protecting the ball there. Now we're going to take a look at Smith-Njigba over here on the left side in this set where you've got the wing back and you've got the second outside receiver. I think that's Olave or Wilson. I got to see what number it is there. Yeah, I think that's Olave. But you're going to see Smith-Njigba here inside. Olave motions across, and now you're going to get one-on-one from this outside defender. And you got to have a plan against single coverage here, playing tight. And he does. Not even looking at the defender, which is what's great about this. He's looking to the right side, knows the defender's playing him tight, but still has a move for him without ever looking at him. That tells you he understands the scheme, he understands what the defense is trying to do, and that he's going to have one-on-one coverage, and he doesn't even tip off that he knows that. What he ends up doing, gives a little double move with the outside, with the double up there, with the outside foot, and then makes a terrific, runs a terrific route, and then transitions unbelievably well here. But here's that double move. Let's watch it one more time. It's not a very dramatic movement with his outside foot, but watch how he taps it twice right there. That tap twice right there is a double up. So he doubles up, and he shows the defender his eyes to that outside. So it's almost like a head fake in a sense. It's not, but he's just showing the eyes, and then gives that little double up with that outside foot. That gets the defender leaning to the outside, and he's cleared the defender right there. And because the linebacker slides outside to take on the wing back, this is a one-on-one. And he does a good job of selling the route once again. Nice long strides, pumping the arms, selling the vertical, getting the defender to react to the fact that he won cleanly to the inside, and then drops his weight just enough to make a quick little snap turn. And look how he gets square so well out of that turn. You want to be square out of routes breaking back to the quarterback. And it's not necessarily a snap of a turn, but it's quick enough. And he gets good depth, squares both of his feet so he can catch that ball, get the back to the defender, does that, and he just immediately turns outside. He knows where that defender is on his back hip. He knows that he's going to make that defender overrun him with that break, squares up, makes the catch, and easily can make one turn and turn upfield and beats that man. You don't have to be a super athlete to do that. You just have to get good position. You have to understand how to get that position efficiently and have a plan and make the play and rehearse that type of thing well enough that this is automatic for you. And that's what happens here. He gets downfield. He makes a nice turn inside as the safety overruns this play, and he beats the safety. Now, what I want you to notice is the nickel cornerback on the right side here in the middle of the field. Because in Smith-Njigba, you're going to see this number 9 here at the right hash. He gets caught 35 yards downfield by this defender after making these two defenders miss, the safety and the cornerback that was on him, who's on the ground now. But the far side cornerback is able to run him down, as well as number 7 and number 12 here. So does he have great speed? No. Can he get vertical and win some vertical routes? Absolutely. Is he a game breaker? Doesn't look like it to me, at least from this, unless from what I've seen on film, the defenders that have caught up with him are just happen to be super fast, elite speedsters. And from what I'm seeing here, I don't think that's really the case. So you're seeing a guy who's probably going to be very good in the slot. He does need to shore up maybe how he shows his eyes, but he comes back to the ball. He does a good job catching the ball, even though his hands can be a little tight to his frame. But I love how he comes off the ball as a route runner. I like the execution of his breaks. There's something to work with for him to become very refined at this. His transitions are really good. And that the transitions are from the time you become a receiver to when you become a runner. It's very smooth, not wasted steps, gets downfield quickly. Nice work. Thanks again for watching. For more RSP boiler room videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Matt Waldman's RSP Film Room, and my site, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com. We'll take a look at one time here going out, right? See it from that red zone view. Might as well. Very quick and efficient there. Nice work.